Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alvin Kamara. Fresh off a big performance a week ago, as it'll be the Washington Redskins taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'll have scores around the league for you at that.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Washington Redskins and the Seattle Seahawks. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. 8-3.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that.
He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
Ball on the 30 as they come up second and 10. Watson now to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. To throw on second and 10. Watson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On fourth down, Watson. Flushed out right. He may try. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Redskins scoop it. And they're not able to convert on fourth down. And hindsight 2020, I think they probably should have gone for the field goal, right?
The 3 points would look really good right now, but I think what we just saw there, analytics really starting to creep into the game, because more and more teams are saying the more you go for it, the better your odds of getting it.
Well, he's trying to plow ahead, but I don't think he got there. He did it. That's a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away, because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. This is taken at the 18. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Watson now to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
57's the mic.
Watson, off play action. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eddie Goldman able to record his 5th sack of the season. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Another try after the first down sack. Watson. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right down behind center. Back to throw, Watson. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And able to find Conley. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. Faking the give. Now Watson. This is caught, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Miles Boykin, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, but when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the play.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Washington. D.D. Westbrook. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This is taken at his 4. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Now a 1st down throw, Watson. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. A tight one. 8-7 our score after 1 on EA Sports. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Watson going to throw again. Going for the deep ball. And this is taken in at the 5. That one good for 37 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense led by D.D. Westbrook trotting back onto the field. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot.
Dashing through the snow. Touchdown, Washington. D.D. Westbrook with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that will get them one closer. So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Saquon Barkley takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
Now this offense led by D.D. Westbrook trotting back onto the field. He has certainly made the most of his catches so far, both of them going for touchdowns here in half number 1.
And we've never met a team that doesn't talk about getting off to a fast start and featuring guys that they want to have the ball early. We're seeing both of those come into play here. Off to an incredible start, got their feature guy going, and now everyone else should have opportunities.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Looking long for Westbrook. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Well, he's been the guy, already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Saquon Barkley deep to return. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Fielded at about the 28. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, Watson. Looking left side, and it's complete. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. And I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And he missed it again. The 4th time now in this game alone, and that has to be great cause for concern over on that sideline. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. And this is Gabriel on the catch. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Kamara off the draw. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down. Now it's Wilson. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Clock running as the Redskins try to hurry up. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson finding Green complete. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And he probably should have been down earlier, but they do finally get to him 3 yards short of the line to gain. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory.
57, Mike.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Throwing right, and that's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there, picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness and he's chipping away at their confidence.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore.
So the first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely, and from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Wilson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing again. Wilson. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
And his kick is indeed good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is simple.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. He's going deep for Brown. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Kenny Moore. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Does that happen to you before? A.J. Green! Touchdown, Washington! A.J. Green, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson, he'll get this one to Galladay. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Kenny Moore that time there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On second down, here's Barkley. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
Here's Watson. Throwing left side, it's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. A cool little accomplishment for him passing the football. 25,000 yards. He just surpassed that for his career.
When he was a little guy in the backyard just throwing it around probably with his dad, he thought about playing in the NFL. He dreamed of it. But to put up these kind of numbers while doing so, that's got to be kind of cool for him. He'll enjoy the heck out of it.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cleveland Farrell. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
After the sack on first down, Watson. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on third and long. Now Watson, and that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
They will indeed snap it to Watson, being chased out left. He may try and run for this. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Out of the gun, Watson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Seahawks, they're able to stretch that lead out a bit further. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. On 2nd and 7, Wilson. The open man is Westbrook. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover and double and triple and do what you have to do? But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On the ground, this is Kamara. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Wilson. open man is Westbrook, complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 39.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He'll let this go end zone for Green. And this is going to be intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley, he's got a first down past the 30. And he cuts it right sideline. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing is Wilson. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now Wilson, and able to find Green. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A pass there complete to Westbrook. 23 yards the pickup there. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here's Wilson. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
Ready up. 52. 52 to the left. That's track.
A 10th carry for Kamara. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Wilson. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And I don't know that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 49. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Wilson. James has got it. Complete. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Dante Jackson picks it. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Here's Watson. He's going deep for Brown. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. And Watson's going to throw it here. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back to throw. Gardner. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy. All these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Let's go.
Throwing now, Watson. Looking left sideline, it's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the...
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Hat on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the errands need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a mansion. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay.